soon after midday tomorrow. The Atlantis mission began in spectacular fashion today, as John Wiseman reports.
Atlantis launch, unlike the last Aussat mission, was trouble-free. The shuttle blasted off from Cape Canaveral in the early evening. Only the third spacecraft to lift off in darkness.
We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff of the space shuttle.
Its powerful jets lit up the sky for hundreds of miles. NASA estimated the light could be seen as far away as Cuba. The rocket flames were visible as the craft sped toward orbit.
And we have solid rocket booster separation. 2 minutes, 6 seconds.
The astronauts will release in position lunchtime tomorrow, Australian time, one of 3 satellites in its payload. Once that chore is completed, they're going to experiment with construction techniques in space, for which they've been rigorously practicing. If successful, these efforts could be the basis for a permanent space station, planned for the 1990s. The Atlantis mission will last a week. In the United States, John Wiseman, Eyewitness News.
Every stage of the deployment of Aussat A2 will be watched very closely here in Australia. Aussat personnel at Sydney's Belrose ground station will track the satellite from the moment it's launched.
With the problems on the launch of Aussat 1, the scientists at Belrose held their breath as a countdown for the launch of the second stage came to a climax. Today's launch was viewed closely by the local Aussat personnel, and there was a sigh of relief as the shuttle took off.
We've had an ideal launch. It looks to be perfect. Time will tell whether we're able to eject the satellite from the shuttle in about 24 hours' time. And of course, that's not the end of the story. The end of the story comes when it's on the station and starting to provide service to our customers. That will occur around the 1st of January.
It'll be another 18 hours before the satellite is placed into orbit, and Aussat officials predict that 3/4 of the system's capacity will be sold by next year. All going well, Aussat 2 will be deployed by Atlantis tomorrow afternoon Australian time, and a third satellite will be launched in July next year, completing the Aussat program. Alan Hind, Eyewitness News.
British science.
Floating freely in the cargo bay of Atlantis, 2 astronauts assembled a 15-hour so quickly it beat the experts' predictions.
This mission is to test the assembly techniques and the materials that might be used in future space stations. Apart from Skylab, which was put into orbit as a complete unit, future stations will be built with materials and by workers ferried into space by the shuttle. During the 6-hour spacewalk, astronauts Sherwood Spring and Jerry Ross assembled a tower from 93 snapped-together pieces in less than 40 minutes, a time which staggered the experts at mission.